Trips Awakening, y'all will feel my ancient signals, one within the universe, and universe is inside of me. Greetings. Do some of y'all actually really know your Earth mom, Earth father, uncles, aunts, cousins? That's nothing but names and titles. Your Earth grandmother, grandfather, your so-called great grandfather, Earth grandfather, Earth grandmother. Do you actually really know who they are? Some of us do. I knew both of my Earth grandmothers and my Earth grandfather on my Earth father's side, and I seen pictures of my great grandfather and grandmother on my dad's side. But whenever it comes to my Earth mother, I didn't see my grandfather. I don't know what he looked like. I heard just a little bit about him, and I don't know anything about the the dad mother before him, and the list goes on basically both sides. So how come you don't hear anything about that, but you hear the programming of different, programming so-called family or relatives, whatever you want to call it? You hear stories about that, and, part of you connect to the artificial, triangles, circles, and squares, and the illusion planets, and you get programmed, certain things. It's like you basically studying lies and distractions, but you don't know anything about, your Earth, so-called Earth family's physical bodies. Yes, we share the DNA, but I feel like whenever it comes to that, some of us are catching up with certain memories. Some of our energy been all over the place for real, if you really look at it. But whenever it comes to the physical realm, certain parts of us, our energy is basically, merging with our past DNA. We're basically the new bodies. Whenever we enter this physical realm, we're the new bodies. Your loved ones, basically the new bodies whenever they come out the portal, the organic portal. Not, the artificial, because the artificial, that's pumping, different things to throw you off track. And what I mean by the programming family, the stuff that we was basically forced to study and learn, about the British, the Germans, and, other made up cultures, because the cultures, that's nothing but programming, the Irish and Africa and all of that mess, like I said, there's this physical bodies just caught up in the so-called planets, the countries, the states. There's, other people in other countries, they're basically on a program, just like over here. So, but anywho, we was forced to learn other stuff instead of getting to know, our past relatives. Like I said, some of us probably don't even know our own, Earth fathers, mothers, their relatives, some of us don't. And certain things happen for a reason. Certain things happen for a reason. You know, basically, our past relatives that was here, they basically was on a program. You know, whoever entered this physical realm, they automatically come through the program. You know, you get programmed, you get the shots. You know, everything is basically, you know, on repeat. And that happened, you know, to the past relatives. And certain parts of the relatives that already had the programming inside their DNA, you know, some of them didn't get to escape it. They didn't get to break it. So I feel like sometimes we share their memories. You know, we basically merge on many levels. You know, some of our relatives, they might not even be like in the physical form. Might be something totally different. You know, we just remember, like, you know, the physical body and certain holograms, you know, comes inside the dream plane, so we can recognize, you know, them, and some of them still like have programs attached to them, or they could have certain things following them, but they know how to balance that in the dream plane, you know, on certain levels. Certain things are following, but they can't like attach to them. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, certain parts of our DNA and our past relatives, you know, like, because some of us, we share the same DNA. So whenever it comes to certain DNA, certain things can't follow us. And, so, you know, we can break spells and know how to do certain things without, you know, using the cheat codes. Y'all get what I'm saying? Because certain cults and religion in them, they use cheat codes, the spells and stuff like that. They tell y'all that certain things are bad, but they know how to control your energy. What I mean by cheat codes, you know, that's nothing but spells. They know how to play with y'all's energy, your soul, and basically bridge your physical to the planet, you know, merge it. You feel my signals? You know, so whenever we enter the physical realm, we already basically, you know, the programming follow us. Whenever we reach certain levels, we break the programming, especially if you're on a high frequency, and certain parts of us and this illusion, you know, certain parts of us is upgrading, you know, just like our bodies on the physical realm. Whoever runs this system gives us shots because, like I said, our physical body, you know, that carries a lot of power because we got many things. We got certain energies in our organs and stuff that's powerful. So certain things erase memories, you know, because whenever it comes to the DNA, the ancestor.com, whatever that mess is called, and I uploaded a video and kind of broke that down, you know, how, and it's funny because they say, oh, such and such got African blood, you know, that's programming. And, you know, I don't care if these individuals live over Africa or whatever, that's nothing but programming. Just like the, you know, people from other countries as well, you know, like some say they got German blood, and that's programming as well too. That's how I feel, you know. But they want y'all to think that. They want y'all to be on that programming, you know. And some of y'all be like, oh, I got, you know, German, or I got Irish, Gaelic, and all of that mess. I'm just throwing certain things out there. So basically, whoever runs the system already know, your background, and use it to create the illusion, and do certain rituals with your blood to basically keep you trapped on certain levels. But once you break the programming, basically certain individuals can't mess with you. Certain bloodlines, for example. Whenever we come out the portal, do y'all remember whenever I said you might be taking on your Earth father's DNA, or your mother's, or your siblings, your so-called siblings, names and titles? They probably take on certain individuals' bloodline, and that's the reason why there's a lot of confusion going on. So whenever we do come through the programming, certain parts of our DNA can take over and destroy the programming. I'm shifting on many levels, and some of y'all probably shifting on many levels. Some say upgrading, like on the physical realm. On the physical realm, the machines, they basically, the machines, whoever runs the machines, got y'all on the digital world. You feel my signals? So, how come y'all think there was, 2G, 3G, 4G, and I already talked about some of this. Now it's 5G. That's basically controlling y'all. Got your bodies and your so-called bodies, mind, and your spirit and your soul trapped into the digital world, the artificial portals, the black mirrors. All right, whenever, do y'all remember when I uploaded a video, was basically breaking it down, how they was teaching, programming us with the triangles, circles, and squares, greater than and less than. I broke that down, and I even showed y'all, inside the illusion skull, like everything is like square, triangle, and certain things draw, our energy connects with certain things, and even with the pole. So, the wires and all of that stuff, like, it shifts and traps certain energies and stuff, so the illusion can keep going, and that's the reason why I said whenever, they have funerals, you basically, the thing is like a square, y'all remember, I did a video on that. I think it was a couple of illusion years ago or something. Like I said, I put out so many videos. So, and I also said, how come you can't bury your loved ones in the backyard? How come it have to be in a graveyard? And certain things, certain energies get confused and trapped in the graveyard. Like, I kind of broke that down. So whenever it comes to that, you got to look at it this way. This is not home. Like I said, this is not home, and I'm going to really break it down. I'm going to take this off of this realm. Look at the globe, the so-called planets, countries, states. Certain individuals gave y'all a map, the globes and all of that. That's nothing but programming. So whenever it comes to that, you got to understand the shape of the so-called countries and illusion planets and stuff, certain things line up with your physical. And whenever you sign your nature and do these rituals, you're connecting to certain things like the area code, the phone number. You're actually merging with that, and if you don't know how to balance it, that stuff can get you trapped. They're not gonna, certain individuals, they're not gonna let y'all see certain things. So that's the reason why I said y'all on a certain broadcast, and everything is digital now. So, and certain things is going to change and shift, even the so-called laws, certain so-called history or her story, it's going to get changed. So the new bodies won't know what's going on. That's the reason why, we connect with some of our loved ones, because we stay connected to some of our loved ones through DNA, not this illusion. Certain bloodlines, basically not supposed to connect. That's the reason why there's a lot of confusion. That's the reason why I said, some of y'all could be, you could be with one of your relatives. You don't know. We connected to certain things. That's the reason why whenever it comes to the siblings, and I talked about this already, they could be representing another bloodline, and certain bloodlines, certain DNA, are at war with each other. They are at war with each other. Y'all feel my signals. That's the reason why certain siblings don't get along, and certain certain children, certain children could have been forced. That's the reason why I say you got to be careful how you play with the energy. Certain children could have been forced. Certain individuals' soul could have got raped, and then it plays out on the physical world. Certain things take over certain bloodlines, certain souls. So there's a lot of confusion going on. One of your relatives could have been into some heavy, deep stuff. Like I said, energy shift. So they could have been practicing, all types of stuff, spells, witchcraft, the list goes on. And certain things could, follow you back. You could be merged to some certain things. Certain things could follow you and play games with you, whether it's negative or positive. Certain things, like when you break the programming, you have to basically balance out some of your relatives' mess. That, you share the same DNA. The only difference, we come, and if we come on a physical form, the physical realm, we basically upgrade with the physical body on many levels. Certain things we got to balance out in order, some of them know they made a mistake, and some of them come and connect with y'all through DNA to let you know, hey, this and that, happened then. Y'all feel my signals. But I'm going to do another, I'm going to upload another video on this. I just want to share this with y'all. What? Did somebody say something?